hit it. Yo, Percocet, Miley Percocet.
Give me some volume on that. Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Homeboy Fishing. Broadcast live. You see it? Never afraid. This is real. We took the mask off. I had the mask on when I came in here. This right here, my fishing mask. When them bugs be around my face. But it ain't about fishing today. It's championship weekend.
Championship weekend.
I got my partner over here in Crown. Always on time. Chocolate Jefe. Break it down to him.
Here
Give
we
me
go.
the rundown of what's going to happen.
This is going to be the rundown for the week. Let me set this volume a little bit here. The rundown for the week is like this. We're going to give you our top four. We're going to start it with our top four, okay? That's what we're going to do. Then we're going to change up just a little bit. Well, we're going to go into our big bass picks of the week first before we do our topic of the week. And then we're going to do our topic of the week. And we're going to finish with the HBCU game of the week. My Facebook Live thing has just stopped, so I'll be on yours, Homeboy Fishing. So we're going to keep this thing rolling here. So let's start off with our top four going into championship week. Let's go.
Break it down to you. You remember something? I don't care about what you think. I don't care about what you think. I don't care about what you think. I don't even care about what you think. All I care about is what Chocolate Jefe thinks. And let's get some. Yeah, we're going to be all right now. Let's get this championship weekend. And my top four teams in college football right now. Number one, I'm throwing the specs. Make sure I don't read nothing wrong.
What's number one?
Number four, we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. Number four goes to the Auburn Tigers. They have beat two number one teams in the last 3 weeks, and they play Georgia today. I'll talk about that a little later. My number three team goes to the Wisconsin Badgers, the only undefeated team in my Power 4 team. My number two team goes to the Oklahoma Sooner. Will Baker Mayfield be overconfident? We're going to talk on that later. And my number one team goes to the Clemson Tigers. Dabo, they dabbing, they been there. Done that.
I like
all
that.
Right, that's 3 years in a row they've been there.
Four. Strong top four. My top four, same teams, different order. Number four teams, Wisconsin, you finally made it. You finally made the Chocolate's top four. You're in here. People been talking about you easy schedule, but you win one, you win. That's it. Number three is Auburn. The first team to beat two number one ranked teams in one season. Defense for real, ask Alabama.
Ask Alabama.
Ask Alabama. Number three, Oklahoma. The Sooners are super hot right now. But they'll probably win today. We'll see. We'll talk about that later. But we'll see what they do when they get into the whole ship. Number one, Clemson.
Clemson Tigers.
Their defense getting healthy again. Ooh. That is not a good look. They beat the brakes out of little brother last week in South Carolina. Miami, watch out. Number one teams go to Clemson Tigers. Like we talked about, we're going to move things a little differently this week. We're going to transition to our next topic, which is the big bass games of the week. But before we do that, again, just like with the pro segment, shout out to Dorman Cavaliers today. Headed to South Carolina, to Columbia.
DHS.
Win, baby, win.
Win.
That's all.
Win. Bring it home.
Let's start off with the big bass games of the week.
Well, Chocolate Jefe.
Go ahead.
I got actually 4 big bag games of the week this week. And all four.
We got the same ones,
We got 4.
Let's go.
And you know what? They all have to do with this national title picture. My first game goes to TCU versus Oklahoma. That's your first game of the day. Me personally, I think Baker Mayfield is very cocky. Johnny Manziel 2.0.
Correct.
But Baker Mayfield is 4-0 versus TCU in his career.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
But they treat Baker Mayfield like they did Texas A&M. And I think he overlooks TCU today. And TCU can put up them points.
So,
And TCU is in the upset. Alabama, you better get on your knees and pray.
Oh, man.
Homeboy Fishing
I was
right.
about to bring a balloon to pop Alabama's bubble, but y'all still in it. And if Homeboy Fishing call it right,
Homeboy Fishing calls it
y'all
right.
can get into this playoff. My take on our game is this. Last time these two teams played, Oklahoma broke out to a 38-0 lead at halftime. They beat the brakes out of TCU last time.
It was 38-20. Actually, TCU made a comeback.
No, they halftime.
Right.
But yeah, second half they came back. Last 3 games, Oklahoma has outscored their opponents 138-54. I said it earlier. They're super hot right now. In order for TCU to win, they have to have turnovers, and they got to score off those turnovers. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Oklahoma hot streaks continue. Oklahoma will cover the spread. By the way, Vegas has the spread at 7. Oklahoma wins by 10. That's Chocolate Hefe's taking that game.
Sorry, Bama
Next
fan.
big game of the week, that's a 12 o'clock game, by the way. It's a 3:30 game. University of Georgia versus Auburn in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The point spread in this game is 2.5 points. This is what I'm gonna start this one off. Last time they played, Georgia got that butt spanked, plain and simple. Auburn dominated. They had 488 yards to 230 yards. Georgia likes to run the football. They had a 1.4 yards per carry versus Auburn's 5.2. Coaches say that you learn more when you lose than when you win. We're going to see whether that's the case. I said earlier this year, I think that Georgia's having a special year, and I do think that run continues. I do think that they're going to continue to have something here. So, with that said, Auburn has been the only team to beat two number one ranked teams in the season. But you can put an asterisk by that because it's going to say 2 number 1 teams in the season and not make the college football playoffs. UGA covers the spread and wins by 7.
Chocolate Hefe, you're wrong again. Auburn has Georgia number. The defensive front and linebacker stops Georgia run. In the last game, as you can see, Fromm was not very accurate. They play a very, very press coverage on the defensive end, on the back end of the defense, making Fromm had to make those hard passes. And that will cost him the game last time.
Okay.
He had a lot of turnovers. And I think Auburn's defense is just too big, fast, and strong. They shut down Chubbs and Sonny Michel. And Auburn wins in a blowout. You heard it here first.
Oh.
Homeboy Fishing. Homeboy Fishing telling you. By 14, Auburn wins by Georgia. Sorry, Bama.
Wow. Well, the next game we're going to talk about is a later game, which is a big game, Wisconsin versus Ohio State. 6.5 point spread for Ohio State starters off.
Well, listen here. Like I said earlier, Wisconsin is the only team in my Power 4 team that is undefeated. And JT Barrett has surgery Sunday.
Ooh.
So, you know what?
What does that
mean?
JT
Barrett, Wisconsin defense is going to crush. I don't even know the quarterback name.
Rookie.
We're going to crush the rookie. And Wisconsin's going to put an exclamation point on their dream season, actually. Okay. And they're going to run a slate, and Wisconsin wins in a blowout.
Oh, well,
over Ohio
State. Is championship week. This is mask off, mask on
mask
week.
Off.
We're going to see. Hey, that is a very interesting pick. Wisconsin knows that despite all the critics, despite their weak and easy schedule, if they win one more game, they're in, period. You can talk all the junk about the schedule, they win and in. Ohio State needs to win and get help. Ohio State's offense averages 43 points, 43.8 points per game, but Wisconsin defense only gives up 12 points a game. So you got strength versus strength. This is a tough one to call, but what I do know is this. JT Barrett struggles in big games.
He's not there.
He is Ohio State's leading quarterback, but when he plays, they don't seem to win a big game. It goes back to when Ohio State beat Alabama that year.
Yeah.
It wasn't him. It was that big boy, Cordell Willis. He came in the game, won the game. But with that said, I think Wisconsin covers but wins in the close one. Wisconsin by 3.
Okay.
The final game of the week is the Miami Hurricanes versus Clemson Tigers. Clemson has a 9.5 point spread favorites on this one. You want to get started?
Well, Miami, good run, but you're not there yet. Mark Ritz, way to leave Georgia, and Georgia actually fired you and take Miami to a 10-1 season. After today's game, you'll be 10-2.
Okay.
Clemson Tigers been there, done that. The offense is explosive. They have multiple weapons.
They do.
Multiple, everything from Feaster to Scott to what's that?
Etienne. That cat's fast.
The big fast, the defensive line.
He's almost as fast as Kareem Moss back in the day.
Yeah, Kareem Moss. Thank you for tuning in, Kareem.
Shout out, Kareem.
Hey, but they Clemson has too many weapons, and the defensive line is going to hit Miami's quarterback early and often, shut the running game down. It will not exist. And Clemson wins in a blowout by 14.
Oh, bro. Hey, listen here, Homeboy Fishing. You all right with me? Because I feel the same way, and I'm going to tell you why. Clemson is a year ahead of schedule. This team was supposed to be good next year, and they putting it together this year. I think they're having a great season. Clemson averages 32 points a game. Miami averages 31. Miami has feasted off of turnovers this year. They have the turnover chain 17 times interceptions versus Clemson's 12, and those are tangible facts. However, this is going to be like that Oakland Raiders game and Denver game last week. Clemson is going to be snatching some chains off some people's necks this week. Clemson,
they're going to be fighting.
No, they're going to be taking the turnover chains. Clemson is, I mean, Miami has the will and the desire.
It's too
but
early.
Right now, the talent gap for Clemson is just too big, man. Clemson has a ton of talent on that team, man. Turnover success. I think Clemson will win and cover the Vegas spread of 9.5. Clemson by 2 touchdowns.
Oh, well.
I agree as well. Clemson by 14. So, all you bettors out there, listen to Chocolate Jefe or Homeboy Fishing.
Homeboy Fishing.
Hey, we don't blame it on us. It's just a disclaimer. Hey, we're going to get into our topic of the week, and our topic of the week is basically more football. We're going to talk about it. So when the smoke settles, after today is all over, what is going to happen? Who's going to be your picks, and who's going to be in it, and who's going to be playing who?
Hey, Maria. Later work with Watson.
All right.
All right, when the smoke clears, it's going to be just like the BCS picture set it up.
What's that?
How they got it right now. Clemson will be playing Wisconsin. That'll be your 1 versus your 4 team. And Oklahoma will be playing not Georgia, but Auburn.
Oh, Oklahoma versus Auburn. Okay.
Oklahoma versus Auburn.
Okay, so that means that Alabama is a non-blanking factor.
Yes, Alabama,
this year.
sorry. You will not be in the
Ooh.
college football this year.
Well,
Nick
Dwayne
Saban,
Black,
Tia Collins, John Collins.
and all you other Bama fans out there, lo siento. That means I'm sorry in Spanish. This is my final 2. I think Clemson will be the number 1 seed, and they will play Wisconsin in round 1. The other round is going to be Oklahoma is going to be in there, and they're going to play Georgia. That special season continues, Georgia. Let's see if you're going to continue it and make it happen for you. But those are Chocolate Jefe and Homeboy Fishing.
Get some.
Top 4. Hey, if you can't chime in on the broadcast right now, send us a note, watch the video, and give us who you think is going to be in it when it's all said and done.
Don't forget, go to Smoking Wings and get your 10% off for your wings.
That's right.
You say
Smoking Wings in Spartanburg, 10% off. Just say you watch the show, and you're going to get a discount and some good food.
Good food.
So
break it down.
We're going to get into the next segment, which is almost our final segment, which is our HBCU football game of the week. The season's pretty much over with. So this is the last game that's going to decide who goes to the Celebration Bowl to play the North Carolina A&T Aggies. This is the SWAC Championship. Grambling versus Alcorn State. As a matter of fact, I think that this is the last year for the SWAC Championship. They are doing away with this.
They are?
Yeah, I don't know. It must be a money thing. But so this is kind of a big thing. So you got Grambling and Alcorn State. Grambling beat them in this year earlier, 41-14. Grambling's a better team. They're 10-1. Alcorn State is like 5-7 or 7-5.
Congratulating them too. What they do last night, Grambling.
It was a Grambling. I didn't see
Yeah,
it. You tell me.
Grambling. Grambling Tigers beat Georgia Tech in Atlanta yesterday.
In basketball.
So congratulations, Grambling.
That's big. But getting back to football here, Gramblin's going to win this game and have a date with North Carolina A&T on December 16th in the Georgia Dome. I want to give a shout out to the Omegas at Grambling and at Alcorn State. Rubras, have a good time. Well, Homeboy Fishing. Why am I saying that here? Guess what it is? It's time. Time for us to go. Have a good day.
Don't forget, like, follow, and share. Remember something, if you ain't fishing, talking about football, you ain't doing nothing. Homeboy Fishing broadcasting live. This is real.
Mad
This is real, we told y'all.
I'm a freak to the core.
Get a dose once, you gon' want some more. My tongue touch your